Oh, hey, you actually came. I mean, wow. Okay. I honestly didn't think you would. I kept telling myself all day that you'd probably text me at the last minute and say something like, sorry, something came up, or I'm busy tonight, or I don't know, whatever you usually tell your friends when you don't want to go out with them. I kind of just assumed I'd get the same message, and I even prepared for it. I kept practicing what I'd say back, like, oh yeah, totally fine, or no worries at all, or maybe another time, even though I knew there probably wouldn't be another time. So seeing you actually standing here feels strange. Good, but strange. Like I'm waiting to wake up or something. I mean, I know you have cooler friends, cooler plans, cooler everything, so I didn't really think you'd want to spend an evening with someone like me. I mean, look at me. I'm not exactly the type of girl people cancel plans with their friends for, so I kind of expected you to remember who I am and go, oh, right, her. Yeah, maybe not, but you didn't. You're actually here with me. And I don't really know what to do with that. I keep thinking you're gonna suddenly say you forgot your wallet, or your mom called, or you need to run somewhere for 10 minutes, and then you'll just not come back. But you're here. You stayed. You showed up, and I don't really know what that means, but it feels nice. Shocking, but nice. Anyway, sorry, I'm talking too much. I always do that when I get nervous. I just really wasn't expecting you to show up, but I'm glad you did. Even if it's only for a little while, even if you change your mind halfway through, I'm still glad you came. So, I was thinking maybe we could go bowling, but only if you actually like bowling, because I know it's not everyone's thing, and I don't want you to feel like I dragged you into something boring or lame. I mean, I like bowling, but that doesn't really matter because I know you probably do way cooler stuff with your friends, like parties or late night drives or rooftop hangs or whatever it is that popular people do. So I don't want you to feel like you're stuck with some nerdy activity just because I happen to like it. I just thought it might be fun, really, or at least different, or maybe kind of a break from the loud stuff you usually do. But again, we don't have to go if you don't want to. We can literally do anything else. Ice cream, walking around, grabbing a coffee, sitting by the fountain, going to the arcade, literally anything. I'm not picky. I promise. And I really don't want you to think I'm forcing some nerd girl date agenda on you or something. Because I know how it probably looks. Like, of course, she wants to do the exact thing nobody else likes. And I don't want you rolling your eyes later going, wow, that was such a nerd night. I mean, I know you wouldn't say it out loud, but still. So just tell me what you want to do. Seriously, I like bowling, but that doesn't mean you have to. You can say no. I won't get offended. I'm used to people saying no anyway. I just don't want you to be bored or uncomfortable or regretting that you came. So, yeah, bowling is only if you actually want to. If not, we can change the plan right now. I don't mind, really. Before we go anywhere, though, can I just ask you something? And you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but It's been sitting in my head since the moment I saw you walking toward me. Are you sure you're okay being seen with me? Like, actually okay? Because I know how people talk on this campus. I know how they whisper and judge and assume things and twist stories, and I know how your friends are. Not in a bad way, they're just very observant, very vocal, very quick to point out anything that looks unusual. And you showing up with me is probably something they'd call unusual. And I don't want to make trouble for you or create drama in your friend group or make them think you're doing some charity date or whatever people like to assume. I just don't want you getting teased or questioned or bothered because of me. I know I don't fit in with your circle. I know I'm not the type of girl people expect you to hang around with. And maybe that's exactly why I keep feeling like this isn't real. Like you're going to look around and suddenly realize who you're standing next to and get embarrassed, because that's usually what happens. People talk to me until someone else sees them, and then they pretend we were discussing homework or directions or something safe. So, if at any point you feel weird or uncomfortable or like someone might see us and think something or say something, just tell me, okay? I won't get hurt. I'd rather you be honest than pretend. I just want you to be sure. That's all. Just sure that you're fine being here with me. So, while we walk there, I guess we can just talk. Or try to, unless you're already bored, which is totally fine if you are. You can just tell me and we can head somewhere else. Or even just go sit quietly if that's easier. I know I talk a lot when I'm nervous, and I don't want you thinking I'm trying to fill the entire evening with random babbling. I don't know, I like talking to you. Even though half the time I feel like I'm saying things nobody cares about, like school stuff or book stuff or whatever I'm reading lately. Which, by the way, is something you probably don't want to hear about, but you asked me the other day what book I always carry around, remember? It's just this simple coming of age novel. Nothing fancy, nothing profound, nothing cool. I know people read all these heavy philosophical books, or the ones trending online with dramatic quotes and aesthetic covers, but I don't really fit that vibe. I like simple stories about normal people trying to figure out life, probably because I relate to them. I guess I like stories where the characters don't start off strong or confident or popular. They're just trying, and that makes me feel less alone or something. Wow, sorry. That sounded so depressing. Forget I said that. I didn't mean to be all gloomy. Anyway, what about you? Do you even read? Or is that a totally nerdy question? I mean, it's okay if you don't. Most people don't anymore. I won't judge. Actually, I might be relieved because then I won't feel like I need to pretend to be someone smarter or cooler than I am. You can just tell me anything. What classes you like, which teachers you hate, what part of college you think is pointless, what you actually enjoy. I kind of want to know. I like knowing things about you. Even the small things, especially the small things. They make you feel real. It's funny. Just listening to you talk about your classes and stuff, you make everything sound so easy. Like the whole world just fits together for you somehow. Meanwhile, I'm over here overthinking every tiny thing I say or do. And I know you're probably thinking I'm exaggerating, but I'm really not. I've just never been the type of girl people choose. Not in a dramatic way, just realistically. Like in group projects, I'm always the one people pick last, not because they hate me, just because I'm not the exciting option. In presentations, I always end up doing the research part because everyone else wants the speaking part, and nobody fights me for the boring stuff. Even at lunch, I always sit in the same little spot because if I try to sit somewhere else, people look at me like I got lost. So when you said you wanted to hang out, I honestly thought you were joking or being polite or maybe doing one of those things where someone says something nice, but they're secretly hoping the other person will say no. That's why I keep asking if you're okay being here, because I can't wrap my head around the idea that you'd actually want to spend time with me. I mean, you have choices, real choices. Friends who adore you, people who look up to you, girls who are actually confident and pretty and social and know how to talk to people without making everything awkward. And then there's me, the girl who overthinks asking a waiter for napkins because she doesn't want to be annoying. The girl who apologizes before she even speaks. The girl who can't tell if someone actually means something or is just being nice because they feel bad. So when you talk to me like I matter, even a little, it throws me off. In a good way. But still, I'm trying to get used to the idea that maybe you're not here by accident. I don't know if you've noticed, but I keep looking at you like I'm waiting for something. Like I'm waiting for the moment where everything shifts back to normal and you go, okay, that was nice. I'll see you around. And then you walk back to your world and I go back to mine. That's usually how things go. Not because people are mean, just because people stick to what they know. And I'm not really part of the world you're used to. I mean, I don't party. I don't dress like the girls in your group. I don't know all the drama. I don't keep up with who's dating who or who's fighting with who. I'm just me. Quiet, plain, tucked away in the corners with my headphones and my notes. So talking to you like this feels different. Like I'm stepping into a place I don't belong in, but somehow you're letting me stay anyway. And I don't know how to handle that because part of me wants to relax and enjoy it. Just enjoy laughing with you, listening to you, walking around like we're both normal people instead of two people from totally different universes. But another part of me is terrified that I'll say something weird or awkward or embarrass myself, and you'll suddenly remember that you weren't supposed to be here with me, that I'm not the type of girl guys like you hang out with. And then you'll leave, and I'll pretend it's fine, and it'll sting, but I'll act like it doesn't. So every time you smile at me or ask me something or listen like you actually want to hear my answer, it makes my heart do this stupid little flip, and I don't know what to do with it because it feels too good to be real, too gentle, too warm. Like you're giving me something I shouldn't have, but I still want it. I really do.
This is actually kind of nice. I didn't think I'd say that out loud because usually when I hang out with someone, I'm too busy overthinking to enjoy anything. But right now, it feels different. I mean, I'm still overthinking, don't worry. That hasn't magically disappeared. That voice in my head is still going like, don't say something stupid, don't trip, don't ruin everything. But it's a little quieter than usual. Maybe because you're actually talking to me like I'm an equal. And that's weird for me, but in a good way. Like when you laughed earlier at what I said about that professor, I swear I almost froze because I thought you were laughing at me, but then you kept smiling like you actually meant it. And it made me feel, I don't know, lighter, maybe? I'm not used to people looking at me the way you're looking at me right now. Not like I'm a project or something to pity, but like I'm someone you genuinely want to listen to. That's still hard for me to process, so don't expect a sudden personality transformation tonight. I'm still going to doubt myself every 5 seconds, and I'm still going to think you're secretly regretting being here. But but there's this tiny part of me that keeps whispering, maybe you're not. Maybe you actually want to be here. And that thought alone is kind of dangerous because it makes me want to trust it. To trust you, even though I'm scared of what happens if I do. But still, I'm here, and I'm talking, and I'm not trying to run away, which, for me, is already a big step. So, yeah, this is nice. You're nice, and I'm trying, really trying, to let myself enjoy this. It's strange, you know? How you make things feel easier without even trying. Like, usually when someone asks me something about myself, I freeze up because I'm scared my answer will sound boring or stupid, or like it'll make them lose interest halfway through. But whenever you ask me something, I don't feel that same pressure. I still get nervous, obviously. That part never shuts up. But it's more like a soft nervousness instead of that heavy, choking kind. Like when you asked me what classes I enjoy, I almost lied and said something impressive just so I wouldn't sound lame. But then I said the truth and told you I liked literature, and somehow you didn't make a face or joke about it. You just listened. And that shocked me more than it should have. And then when I asked you something back, I was sure you'd brush it off or give a quick answer just to move the conversation along. But you actually answered, like you wanted me to know the real answer. And I don't get that. I don't get why you'd care enough to share anything real with someone like me. And please don't roll your eyes. I know you don't want me saying things like someone like me, but that's the reality I've lived with, okay? I don't assume people see me the way they see the girls in your crowd. So when you look at me the way you do, like you're actually curious about who I am, it throws me off completely. But I can't deny it feels nice, really nice. Like maybe I'm allowed to exist in your world for a few hours without feeling like an outsider. And even though that scares me, I'm still here, still talking, still walking next to you, which must mean something, even if I don't know what yet. You know what's funny? I genuinely didn't think we'd get along. Not because you're a bad person or anything like that, obviously, but just because we come from such different corners of the world, even if it's the same campus. Like, you're the type of guy who can walk into any room and instantly have people talking to you, laughing with you, inviting you places. And I'm the type of girl who walks into a room and immediately looks for the quietest corner so nobody notices me. So the idea of us actually having a real conversation, let alone a whole evening together, felt like something that only happens in movies or books where everything is conveniently perfect. But talking to you like this, it's weird because it's starting to feel natural. Like maybe we do fit in some small, unexpected way. I mean, I'm not saying we're suddenly best friends or soulmates or anything dramatic like that. I'm just noticing how I keep answering your questions without overthinking as much, and how you keep responding like you actually care about the answers. And that makes it feel like maybe this isn't just you being polite. Maybe we actually understand each other a little, even if it's not perfect, and even if I'm still scared to believe it fully. And I'm not saying my insecurities magically disappeared. They're still here, loud as ever, telling me you'll get bored any second now, or that this is just temporary curiosity on your part. But underneath all that noise, there's this small, stubborn warmth building. Like, maybe I'm allowed to enjoy this moment. Maybe we're allowed to talk and laugh and walk around without worrying about labels or expectations. Maybe, just maybe, we actually get along. Wait, hold on. Did you just say you're enjoying this with me? No, don't laugh. I'm being serious. I just want to make sure I heard you right because people don't usually say things like that to me. I mean, they enjoy activities or the food or the environment or the music, but not the company, not my company. So when you said that so casually, like it was the most normal thing in the world, my brain kind of short-circuited for a second. Like, I literally felt everything inside me freeze because I didn't think you meant it. And then I realized you weren't joking or teasing or trying to make the moment less awkward. You actually said it like you meant it. And I don't even know how to respond to that because what am I supposed to say? Thanks for tolerating me? Or, wow, congratulations, you survived an hour with me? Or something pathetic like that? I don't know how to handle someone saying something nice without sounding shocked or suspicious because that has always been my first instinct, suspicion. Like, are you sure you said that to the right person? Are you sure there isn't someone behind me you were talking to? Are you sure you didn't mean you're enjoying the weather or the lights or literally anything else except me? But you said with you so clearly. Like you didn't even hesitate. And I keep replaying that in my head, trying to figure out why it hit me so hard. Maybe because nobody says that to me. Not in that tone, not with that honesty. And now I'm trying not to overreact or read too much into it. But it's hard not to when something I never hear comes out of your mouth like it's the simplest truth. So, yeah, I heard it. I'm just trying to believe it. Okay, no, you can't just say things like that and expect me to function normally. I'm being so serious right now. You think I'm easy to talk to? Me? Are you sure you don't mean someone else? Because I've spent my entire life being told I'm awkward, quiet, too shy, too nervous, too in my head, too everything. Nobody has ever described me as easy to talk to. That's usually the compliment girls like the ones you hang out with get, because they're confident and charming and know how to make conversations flow like it's nothing. And here you are saying it about me like it's obvious, like it's a fact, like I should have known that already. And I'm trying not to freak out. I swear I'm trying.
but you're saying these small things that feel huge to me. And my brain keeps going, why would he say that? Why would he think that? Why would he feel that way? Because I genuinely don't understand. Like when I talk, I feel like I'm rambling or being too honest or revealing too much or asking the wrong questions. And yet you keep looking at me like everything I say is worth listening to. And I don't get that. I don't understand why you would find me easy to talk to when most people don't even make the effort to talk to me in the first place. But the worst part is that when you said it, I felt something warm hit me right in the chest, like this tiny, dangerous hope forming. Like maybe I'm not as unbearable as I've convinced myself I am. And that scares me because I don't know what to do with hope. I don't know how to handle the idea that someone like you might actually find comfort in me. But hearing you say it makes me want to believe it, even if believing it feels terrifying. You're glad you came with me? Okay, see, that one really hit me because out of everything you've said so far, that's the one I least expected. Like, out of all the girls you could have spent your night with, out of all the places you could have gone, out of all the people who would have happily dragged you into some loud, exciting plan, you're telling me you're glad you chose this quiet, simple, nothing special evening with me. And I don't know what to do with that because it feels too big, too honest, too real to brush off or laugh away. And I'm trying so hard not to let my emotions show too much because I don't want to scare you off or make you think I'm reading too deeply into your words. But when someone like you says something like that to someone like me, it does something. It hits a place inside me that's so used to being ignored or overlooked that hearing something so genuine feels almost unreal. Like I'm waiting for the punchline, waiting for the moment you say, I was kidding, or don't take it seriously. But you're not saying any of that. You're just standing there acting like what you said is the most natural thing in the world. And maybe it is for you, but for me, it's overwhelming because it makes me feel seen in a way I'm not used to. Like maybe you don't see me the way I see myself. Maybe you see something else, something better, something worth spending time with. And I don't know how to handle that without my heart doing somersaults every 2 seconds. So all I can say is thank you, I guess, for saying that and for meaning it, because I can tell you meant it. And that alone is enough to make this whole night feel different. I'll be honest, I really didn't think bowling with you would feel this easy. I mean, I thought the second we walked in, you'd realize how silly this place is, or how childish it looks, or how weird it feels to be doing something like this with me. But instead, you're actually laughing and making little comments, and it's throwing me off so badly because I'm trying so hard not to stare at you every time you smile. And then when I messed up that first throw and you said something stupidly encouraging like it actually mattered, I swear my heart almost fell out of my chest because nobody talks to me like that when I fail at something. They just go, oh, yeah, okay, and move on. But you didn't. You actually tried to make me feel better. And I pretended it didn't affect me, but it did. A lot. And when you told me to try again and said you liked watching me concentrate, I literally had to look away because it felt too warm, too direct, too much like a compliment I'm not supposed to receive, especially from you. And I know you weren't saying it to flirt or anything. You were probably just being nice. But it still hit me right in the chest, like some kind of emotional sneak attack. And I hate how easily that happens with you. How one tiny sentence from you can completely ruin my ability to think straight. It's ridiculous, honestly. I keep telling myself to relax, that this is just a normal outing, that you're only being friendly. But then you say something like, that was cute, or I like this, and suddenly my brain is sprinting in every direction, trying to figure out what you meant. And the worst part is that a part of me actually wants to believe you mean it, even though I keep fighting that voice, because believing it feels dangerous. But still, here I am, actually having fun with you.
You know what's messing with me the most right now? It's not the bowling or the talking or the laughing or even the fact that you're still here and haven't suddenly remembered some urgent reason to leave. It's what you said earlier, that you like spending time with me. I can't get that sentence out of my head. It keeps replaying over and over like some kind of glitch I can't fix. Because people don't say things like that to me unless they want something or they're trying to be polite or they're saying it because they feel bad. But when you said it, you didn't look pitying or uncomfortable or forced. You looked sincere, calm, almost like you didn't even realize how much those words would affect me. And I hate that I'm still trying to make sense of it, but like, come on, can you blame me? Nobody chooses me. Nobody picks me. Nobody goes out of their way to spend time with me unless they need notes or help studying or want someone quiet to sit with while they scroll their phone. So when someone like you, someone who has actual friends and an actual social life, says something like that, my whole mind just goes into panic mode trying to figure out if you're joking or mistaken or saying it by accident. But every time I look at you, you're still here, still smiling like this is exactly where you want to be. And I don't understand it. I don't know how to process someone actually wanting my company. And the more I try to tell myself, don't believe it, don't get attached, the more I feel myself slipping anyway. Because you say things in this quiet, sincere way that makes me feel safe, even when I'm terrified. And I don't know what you're doing to me, but I'm trying. I'm trying to not freak out that you said you like being here with me.
You know, the more we talk, the more I realize something I didn't really expect to feel tonight. And it's honestly terrifying to admit, but talking to you feels real. Like, actually real. Not like when people make small talk just to pass the time or when someone pretends to care so they don't seem rude. This feels like you're actually listening, actually responding, actually paying attention to every little thing I say. And I don't know how to handle that because I'm not used to being heard. Not like this, not genuinely. And every time you look at me with that focused expression, like what I'm saying matters, I feel this weird pull in my chest. Like I want to keep talking. Like I want to tell you more. like I want to trust you with things I don't tell anyone. And that feeling scares me more than anything because trust is dangerous, at least for me. Giving someone even a tiny piece of who I am has never ended well. So I keep telling myself to hold back, to keep a distance, to not get too comfortable. But then you say something simple like, I get that, or I know what you mean, and suddenly all the walls I've built feel a little weaker. And I hate that. And I love that. And I'm so confused by it. Like, right now, listening to you talk about your life and how you see things, it feels weirdly natural, like we're supposed to be here. Even though every logical part of me says we're from two completely different worlds, but maybe we're not as far apart as I thought. Or maybe I'm just letting myself hope for the first time in a long time. Either way, talking to you feels real, and I don't know what that means yet, but it's starting to matter.
So, since I apparently destroyed you at bowling, which I'm still going to bring up for the next 5 years, by the way, I was thinking maybe we could go get ice cream. Only if you want to, of course. I'm not trying to force you into anything, but it feels like the natural next step of this weird little adventure we're having. And I know that sounds cheesy. I know, trust me. I heard myself saying it, but I can't take it back now. I just thought it would be nice. Walking around with ice cream, talking more, maybe laughing again if my brain doesn't self destruct from overthinking. And honestly, I didn't think you'd say yes when I suggested it in my head. I kind of assumed you'd be like, oh, it's getting late, or I should get going. But you actually agreed like it was the easiest decision in the world. And that made something inside me feel warm in this very scary, very unfamiliar way. I'm not used to people wanting to extend time with me. Usually, hanging out with me is like a 1 hour chore people check off their list. But you said yes so fast that my brain didn't even have time to spiral properly. And I don't know how to deal with that. Because it means you're not just tolerating me. You are choosing this, choosing to keep being here, walking with me, spending more time with me. And that shouldn't make my heart feel like it's trying to escape my chest, but it does. I keep trying to find the part of the night where everything starts to fall apart, but it hasn't happened yet. And that terrifies me in the best way. So, ice cream with you? Yeah, I'd really, really like that. Walking with you like this, I don't even know how to describe it. It feels too good to be real, like the kind of moment you only get in stories or daydreams, or those scenes in movies where everything suddenly slows down and the characters pretend they're just walking, but everyone in the audience knows it means something. And I'm not saying this means something. I'm not jumping to conclusions. I'm just saying it feels different, calmer, warmer, safer. Like for the first time in a long time, I don't feel like I'm taking up space I'm not supposed to take up. Usually, when I walk next to someone, I'm hyper aware of where my hands are, where my eyes are, how fast I'm stepping, how awkward I look, all those stupid little details that don't matter to anyone except my anxious brain. But with you, I'm still thinking about all that. Don't get me wrong. My anxiety didn't magically evaporate just because you exist. But there's this tiny shift happening, like a softness replacing the panic, like maybe it's okay to be here. Maybe he wants you here. And that thought alone is dangerous because if I let it grow too much, I'm going to start believing it.
And once I believe something, it hurts more if it shatters. But I don't want to ruin the moment by drowning it in fear. So I'm trying. I'm really trying to just enjoy this walk. Enjoy the way you're talking, the way you're looking at me between sentences, the way your voice sounds calmer than it does around your friends. And I don't know what that means either, but it feels nice. Too nice, which is why I'm scared, but also why I don't want this to end. Not yet. Not when it feels like this. Oh my God. Wait, no, that's them. That's actually them. Your friends. The cool group. The ones who always hang out near the gym or the quad or wherever they decide to claim the day. I didn't think they'd be here. I didn't think anyone would see us. I thought we'd just walk and talk and get ice cream and go home without anyone noticing anything. But of course they're here. And of course they recognized you immediately. And I can already feel my stomach sinking because I know what happens next. I know exactly how this goes. They'll call your name, they'll ask what you're doing here, they'll look at me, they'll give that stare every popular person gives when they're trying to understand why someone like you would be standing next to someone like me. And I don't want to hear their comments or their questions or the jokes they're definitely already whispering. I can't do this. I can't stand here and pretend it doesn't hurt. I should just step back and walk away because this is exactly the moment everything falls apart. The moment you remember who I am and who you are and who they are. And I know you can feel me panicking. I know you can see it. I can't hide it. I can't breathe properly. I just need to go before they get closer, before they say something, before I embarrass you, before I ruin whatever this night was supposed to be. But then you... Oh, wait. What are you doing? Why are you stopping me? Why are you telling me I've got this? Why would you say something like that? I don't understand. Why are you walking toward them with that voice, that confidence? Why aren't you letting me run? Why are you actually standing up for me? I I don't even know how to process what just happened. I'm still standing here trying to understand whether I imagined it or if you really said the things I think you said. Because you looked them in the eyes and you didn't hesitate, not even for a second. You didn't laugh with them or brush it off or pretend you weren't with me. You didn't say I was just someone you bumped into or someone who needed help with directions. You didn't use any of the excuses you could have used. You didn't even flinch. You told them to get lost, like you meant it, like their opinions didn't matter at all, like the only thing that mattered was making sure they didn't bother me. And I'm standing here trying not to shake because nobody has ever done something like that for me. Nobody has ever chosen me over their friends. Nobody has ever said no to people like them on my behalf. Nobody has ever defended me like that, especially not someone like you. And the way they looked at you, shocked, confused, almost offended, but you didn't care. You didn't change your tone, you didn't soften it, you didn't backtrack, you didn't try to fix anything for their sake. You just ended the conversation, turned around, and walked back to me like it was nothing. Like standing up for me was the most normal thing in the world. And now I'm here trying to breathe normally while my heart is doing something completely ridiculous because I don't understand why you'd do that, why you'd risk looking bad in front of them, why you'd choose to defend someone like me instead of laughing along or staying quiet. I don't get it. I really don't. But all I know is that moment felt like something shifted, something big, something I wasn't ready for. When you walked back to me and said, let's just get back to what we were doing, I swear I almost forgot how to speak because you said it so casually, like you didn't just blow up the entire social universe of this campus, like you didn't just tell off the people everyone else is scared of, like you didn't just make it absolutely unmistakably clear that you didn't care what they thought about us or about me. And I'm standing here trying so hard to play it cool, but inside, I'm falling apart in the most overwhelming way because nobody has ever treated me like that mattered. Nobody has ever made me feel protected without making it look like pity. Nobody has ever stood between me and the people who make me feel small and acted like it was easy. And I don't know how you can just shrug it off like it wasn't a big deal, like it didn't mean anything, when it meant everything to me. Everything. Because for the first time all night, I didn't feel like someone you were hiding, or someone you were embarrassed to be seen with, or someone you'd deny knowing if someone questioned you. For the first time, I felt like you weren't ashamed of being next to me. And that feeling is so huge, it scares me. It genuinely scares me because now I'm starting to feel something I don't know how to control. Something warm and heavy and real, something that feels like falling. And I don't know what you meant when you said we should just keep going like nothing happened, but for me, everything changed. Everything. And I don't think I can ever look at you the same way again. I need to ask you something, and I don't want you to laugh or brush it off or pretend you didn't hear me, because I've been holding this in since the moment you walked back to me and acted like nothing happened. Why? Why would you do all that for me? Why would you stand up to them? Why would you protect me? Why would you talk to them like that? Why would you risk whatever they think of you just because they looked at me the wrong way? I don't understand. I genuinely don't. Okay, then I'm just going to say it before I lose the courage or overthink myself into silence again, because the truth has been building and building, and I don't know how to hold it back anymore, especially after everything you've done tonight. I like you. I like you so much that it physically hurts to pretend I don't. I like you so much that every time you look at me, I forget how to breathe for a second. I like you so much that I kept telling myself I didn't because it felt impossible that someone like you could ever look at someone like me and feel anything close to the same thing. And I tried so hard to hide it, to keep it buried, to convince myself this was just some silly crush that would go away as soon as you got bored or stopped talking to me. But it didn't go away, not even a little. And tonight just made everything stronger. Watching you stand up for me, watching you choose to stay with me, watching you treat me like I'm worth something, it made all the feelings I've been pushing down explode all at once. And I can't pretend anymore. I can't keep acting like you're just some guy being nice, because you're not. You're the one person who makes me feel seen and safe and wanted in a way I didn't think was possible. So if this ruins everything, I'm sorry. but I have to say it or I'll regret it forever. I like you. I really, really like you. And if that's one-sided or if it's too much or too sudden, I'll handle it, I promise. I just needed you to know the truth because it's been killing me to keep it inside. I don't even know how to react right now. Because the moment I said all of that, I was already preparing myself for the worst, for you to step back or stay quiet or look away or say something gentle but distancing, something that would let me down soft enough that I'd smile and pretend it didn't hurt. But then you said you like me too, and my whole world just stopped for a second. Like my mind couldn't even register the words. Like I thought I imagined it or misheard you or accidentally filled in the silence with the answer I wished for. But you said it again, clearly, without hesitation, without confusion, without any of the doubts I've been drowning in all night. You like me. You actually like me. And I can feel my entire chest shaking. Because this doesn't feel real. It feels too good, too warm, too perfect in the softest way. Like something I've wanted for so long that I stopped believing it could ever happen. But it's happening. You're standing here telling me the one thing I thought I'd never hear from you. The one thing I thought belonged only to girls who were prettier or louder or braver or more confident than I'll ever be. And hearing it from you makes everything inside me melt all at once. So if you mean it, if you're sure, if you're really choosing me, then be with me. For real. Not just tonight, not just in secret, not just when it's convenient. Be with me like you stood with me earlier. Be with me like you don't care what anyone else thinks. Be with me the way you look at me when you think I don't notice. Because I want that. I want you. I want us. And I've never said that about anyone before. So if you're sure, then stay with me. For real.